Okay. Evening, everyone. There we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Looks like we're live. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Fable 3. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I've got an audio problem here. Wonder if I can change. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to quick save, exit, and then reload the game. Look at that. Fortunate. So, for those of you wondering, I doubt it. Case. This in here. There we go. I had the wrong audio source. Just for the game, though. Because I had started the game and then switched my audio source, switched my headphones, and then started OBS. I did the order of everything. Anyway, technical issues that are all my fault. Not to worry. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Anyway, so I have been chasing some passive income offline. So if we shall behold.
Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
Alright, we have here my massive pile of wealth.
Just doing a bit of bookkeeping.
And at the top of this pile of almost 5.8 million gold.
I do believe that is the maximum amount of coin you can store here. Frankly, I'm surprised the floor doesn't collapse.
Oh no, what shall I do with the maximum amount of coin I can store here? I'd better go to the castle and make a deposit. That was the point of this, but this point. In order to do this, I at a couple of occasions just sort of let the game run in the background when I went out. As I have mentioned before. As I mentioned before, though, I
trust you're well, sir.
This is the glorious old technique favored by veteran Super Smash Bros. Melee players. Back when this was how you could unlock Mewtwo. I mean, it was the correct way to unlock Mewtwo. It was not the like game designed, the like intended way to unlock Mewtwo, but it was the right way to do it. So in order to unlock Mewtwo, what you had to do was play the game, or play a certain number of versus match, or a certain versus mode.
According to the legend, the diamond is the largest the world has ever known.
Be used.
Can you imagine?
Transfer literally all of our money. You had to play the game for a certain number of actual hours. I think it was 24 hours. So the correct way of doing this, again, not the developer intended way of doing this, but the correct way of doing this, was to plug in two controllers, and to let the game run, just sort of leave the game running, for a while. So basically, you plug in two controllers, so you can have a versus mode, a stock map with just the two players, right? Turn off items and stuff so nothing blows up around you. A map without hazards, like Final Destination. And then you
The
just
creatures protecting the gem
turn off the
are part of
TV,
Auroran
but leave the
folklore,
GameCube
but
on
they should be
with these
no
two players
match
on the
for a
stage.
hero of your stature.
Hey, that doesn't look right. There's got to be that's 6.54 million. That doesn't look right. Anyway, let's head back here for a second. Ooh.
Fancy a bit of counting, do you?
It is a completely empty treasury. Nothing in it except for this chest. I wonder what's in it.
That is a tricky one.
Oh, the swinging sword. And 5 gold. And the guild tattoo set.
This room is quite enormous. I wonder how much wealth it would take to
5
fill
million.
it.
Alright, I'm going to see about that
Armory is
swinging
at your
sword.
disposal.
This one? Two, man's best friend. Have sex with men 10 times? What? Oh, that kind of swinging. Wow. That's my reward. Come on, guys. The hero sword is very cool looking, but kind of evil. 10 quests, 8. Not going to use an unreal. Wolfsbane. What am I currently using? I'm using
I think
Wolfsbane.
there may be a more powerful melee weapon available. Swords are fast.
Alright, anyway.
Any other business to attend to?
Yeah, let's go to Aurora. That's our next actual quest, isn't it? I mean, we have side quests, but I don't care. We're doing the main quest. The side quests we currently have available are all silly dum-dum ones that I've already kind of rejected because they're either evil or involve PETA, essentially. Ah, good. 50,000. So that's good. I've got some pocket change.
This ought to be good.
Not need to travel to Bowerstone. Conveniently teleported. Now, that gnome I couldn't kill this time. Big for treasure. This. Okay. No. Ugh. All right. Hi, Angel. Or hello, Imp. Imp narrates tonight on Professor McCoy's Fabled Emporium. Really? I still like King Arthur Chase's passive income, but we shall discuss why the inner machinations of Patrick Starr's mind remain an enigma. What is the true nature of the feud between the Hatfields and the wrong McCoys? Fine. This and more tonight. Philosophy of Fable 3. So I actually... Okay, so first of all, the McCoys, the fabled McCoys, spelled differently, rivals of the Hatfields, are very much unrelated to me. My family are It's spelled different. It's a different family lineage. It's Scottish rather than Irish. And we live in my whole family lives in Indiana forever, not Appalachia. So no, I'm not related to those McCoys. Funny enough, I know it's a very funny thing, and I do have there is another professor who is a pretty senior level professor at St. Leo, who's
How are you, Your Majesty?
Hatfield, and I like to joke about it a little bit, but no, different McCoys. What I know about it though is somewhat limited, but it's essentially one of those how would you put it?
At your orders, sir.
Ancient self-perpetuating blood feud. Or the best way of describing it. It's the kind of thing where...
Oh, you make me rather nervous.
It's okay. Where someone did something to somebody, perhaps even for a justifiable reason.
Those are nice shoes. But don't you think your grand's feet are cold without them?
Like somebody accidentally killed somebody or something like that, right? This is the kind of thing that usually sets these...
Greetings, Your Majesty.
some kind of minor transgression or...
I don't care if you are the king of Albion. I can still take you.
Doing.
How are you, Your Majesty?
Your Majesty?
Walk away then, you coward.
Yeah, I will walk away. What are you talking about?
I like to think about puppies.
I'm shooting a gnome, lady.
Slowly
Like, you're welcome.
crushing them.
Anyway.
Get about 100 handkerchiefs. Stealing them is an economical alternative to buying them. Stitch, glue, or tape them together, tie a string to each corner, go to the highest place you can find, put 2 strings in each hand, and then jump off. Note, this activity does pose significant risks and should not be attempted except under favourable wind conditions. Even then, you'd have to be completely insane.
Don't ever do that. My advice to you. Don't ever try that. Anyway, though, as I was saying, so something happens, right? In a case like the Hatfield McCoy case, where somebody does something to someone, whether it was intentional or not, whether it was severe or not, it was a slight against someone's honor, or even a genuine harm done, who knows? But something happens, right? And then the response is to say, family A. I'm not even going to use Hatfields and McCoys because I don't want to even imply who started this thing because I have no idea. I don't know if anyone has any. But say family member of family A, let's say sleeps with member of family B, and the rest of family B doesn't much like that. And so a bunch of brothers from family B go and beat up a guy from family A. And then, of course, to avenge that, a bunch of people, more people from family A, go and beat up a bunch of guys from family B. Eventually, one of the guys from family B gets killed. That wasn't their intention, but it happens. When you're beating guys up, sometimes guys get beat up too hard, and somebody dies. Oh no, now someone's dead. So what do we do about this? Well, obviously, the answer is, now, a bunch of people from family A have to kill some people who were involved in the killing of their cousin or whatever.
At your orders, sir. Not a word.
Now they gotta kill a bunch of people.
Nothing.
Now everybody from family B has to kill a bunch of more people from family A. And now a bunch of people from family A have to keep killing more people from family B, and now what we have is this cycle of revenge, where there's a whole bunch of people who need to kill a whole bunch of people in revenge for killing some other people, who killed some other people because they killed some other people, and this goes back 100 generations or whatever. This kind of thing is unfortunately common especially in honor-based or tribal societies, which is essentially what Appalachia turned into very quickly, because it was settled by a bunch of rather tribal people from the Scotland and Ireland, primarily. And
fair prices for your old unwanted items.
Because the local governments were not exactly all that strong, which, you know,
Buy as much as you can.
not necessarily a bad thing. But that means that people handle their own affairs, and when you handle your own affairs, you might get people who want to seek revenge for you handling your own.
A delight to see you, as always.
And when you want to, and then when you seek revenge for handling your own affairs, well, we know what happens next.
I hope you like the wares on display, friend.
Face some more passive in.
All the latest fashions are available
I restock
here.
things every few days.
All
So it is
the
worth
latest
coming back.
Ooh.
You're looking for something to
Buy my goods, friend.
Let's discuss the price.
Play patty cake.
Really, I don't know. I see.
Well, that works weird.
You're much more pleasant to deal with than my
Have a
average
look
customer.
around and
May I
please
be of
take your
assistance,
time.
esteemed
What do
customer?
you have that is on sale?
Can anyone tell me where
Marvelous.
the nearest blacksmith
Thank you.
job might be?
You get what you pay
Yes, right here, right
A
now.
pleasure to serve. I am most grateful. Do go on. I'd rather talk about something else, if you don't mind.
Store?
Has anyone heard any news?
Box of odd fruit. Box of lizard.
Splendid. Thank you.
Ah,
Okay.
Sell the
my
best
favorite
items in
customer.
all Aurora. Thank you.
Oh, anything new in
Sell Auroran's best. Majesty.
Best
How are you,
establishment
Your
in
Majesty?
all of Aurora.
Alanga.
Please,
Your Majesty.
beg you.
No room for it in your life? I have
Show
room for
them
it in
you
my
care
soul.
with
Let's
a thoughtful gift.
Lizard on a stick.
An absolute
Great
pleasure to
thank
serve you.
you for the excellent service.
I hope you
Thank
enjoy
you
it.
for your custom.
You've made a
Do
fine
come
purchase.
again.
Fine dog you are.
Anyway, though, yeah, that is essentially the kind of thing that we're talking. So again, the specifics I'm not 100% sure
King,
of, who started it and when
accept
and why.
this gift.
At your service, my king.
But essentially, what happened is something led to this kind of
Always
back
a
and
great
forth,
pleasure to
self-perpetuating cycle of events,
We should
and it sucks for everyone involved at this point.
Hello to
Long
you.
time
is
here.
owned by
Your
the most
Majesty.
famous hero,
Hello.
well known for daring adventures and ridiculously low prices.
Anyway, MSM said a bunch of things, so I'm gonna catch up here. I went to confession on Saturday. First time
All you have to
First
do
time it
is
was face to face in
cut
ages.
your
Priest has
hair.
eyes closed the entire
Thank
as
you.
I confessed and stared at the altar. I'd like to imagine you entreated in the middle of one of those fist fight, Orion gent, white glove, top hat, and monocle, and you say, "I'm not the true McCoy. I'm not as nice as the one."
You are our best
Take out a
hope, Your
flintlock
Majesty.
pistol and shoot a Hatfield. Walk away into the shadows.
Just need to find
Evil villain they didn't
I
believe
think you can
existed.
buy that
Boys.
please come back
Yeah.
again.
First of all,
Many thanks
that seems.
indeed.
You are like a
Look,
god.
the
I sell
feud between the
best
Hatfields and
items
McCoys
in all
You have my
Aurora.
gratitude.
evolved far beyond flintlocks.
Do come
Incredible,
back.
but true.
Actually, by the time it
This shop
started,
is
I think the technology was already beyond flint. I think it started with things like lever guns, and it gradually evolved into full-on like automatic weapons.
Your
Explosives.
Majesty, hello.
Hi Grace, how you doing? Pretty good, pretty well, pretty. I'm sorry, the chat is gonna be hard for you guys to see when I'm in the desert, and there's not much I can do to fix that. I'm sorry.
I must go, my
you know, while I'm walking in the shade.
Goodbye.
Up.
Are all
At
the
your
men
command.
so weak where you come from?
Blacksmithing. No. Better ways of buying everyone's business.
I've lowered the price. You should take advantage.
1,000,
Please,
kill 150 mercenary.
buy as much as you can.
Gifts to 5. No.
Then I will smile. And everyone likes a man who smiles.
Swift irregular.
You have a talent for bargain hunting.
Want to buy
Hollow
goods
Man-
from
Hollow
a
Man.
shop owned by a famous hero?
2,000 the morning
Then
would for
come here.
mercenary.
Have you no sympathy for your fellows?
Greetings, sir.
A mall adventure. That sounds fun. There aren't too many of those left around, unfortunately. By the way, I keep seeing those like pictures, collected pictures of nearly abandoned or at least basically empty malls, which is always a great example of a liminal space.
Thank you. For the excellent
Very well.
service.
Including, by the way, one.
Your Majesty.
Ooh, excuse me, one from not long ago, from just like a week or two ago, of University Square Mall, which is right by the University of South Florida, where I went to undergraduate and grad school, not too long ago. And even until relatively recently, University Square Mall was hopping, pretty busy. At least, certainly was when I was an undergraduate, back around like the early 2010s, so 15 years ago, in that range. Of course, it is no longer. At this point, it is a ghost town. There doesn't exist. The pictures that I just wound up seeing. Ooh, check it out. The pictures I just saw of it not long
There's a
ago.
new pistol available.
The pictures
Is
I just
a
saw
different weapon required?
were fascinatingly empty. There's no one. Even most of the stores were closed. I need to kill 40 noble. 100. Do that. 100 Aurora. Now would be the time. Now would be the time. Activeness. I'll equip this one for now.
When you need to attack a target from a great distance and don't mind sacrificing firing speed, a rifle is ideal.
Liquidator, kill human enemies to mobs. Decrease now. Heroes. Family. Have 2 children. I did that. Gifts and 10 quests. Damage and multi. Full Monty. Unweave shock spell. Does nothing. Grace says, now the city I'm in used to have 5 or 6 malls between Halifax, Dart, part of town in which I'm currently. I have the 2 in my current area. Hardly. Yeah, that's how it is in a lot of places, honestly. Fun. Ice Maiden. Kill men. Build seals from evil expressions. Well, that's the one I just
I hardly
had.
wish to tell you
Cool.
your business,
I really like
but,
it.
there's a more powerful melee weapon in your armory.
I'm keeping winning. Let's see if we can find that cave. All right, Pepper Doggo, is there something over here? You want to show me something? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, University Square Mall is now at this point basically dead. There are very few stores left, and what there are, or a lot of them, are closed up most of the time, and there's almost never anybody there. Now, the reason for this is what have been euphemistically called teen takeovers lately. This has been a trend all over the place, by the way. This is not just around here or anything. But there's been this trend of what are being referred to by the sort of news media as teen takeovers. Now, sorry, there's no way to describe this without using racial terms and still be honest. And I'm not a journalist, so I'm gonna be honest. This is where a bunch of hordes of African American teenagers, both boys and girls, come in to somewhere. Usually it's a mall. Sometimes it's a shopping plaza. Sometimes it's a park. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's a beachfront. This happened on Clearwater Beach, which is right near where I grew up as well. This is a common thing where a bunch of almost exclusively African American kids, teenagers, will just come up and
Balverines, I've killed 50 of them with nothing but a rusty cutlass.
They'll just show up and
in a great balloon.
start causing mayhem.
Amazing. And almost never
They'll start looting things, they'll start breaking things, they'll start fighting each other, they'll start just harassing and attacking random people, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And there's almost never a sufficient response from either law enforcement or property owner.
Oh, and I wrote this book.
Not impressed?
Well, you would
Which
be if you knew I was illiterate
is
and paralyzed and blind.
I tend to think that the main reason that it's not being responded to as harshly by at least most places is for fear of being called racist. Right?
Are you in need
because
of
when there's a whole bunch of criminals, but those criminals happen to be black,
May I be of assistance?
there's no way to crack down on that without images showing up on media, disingenuous,
Very well.
of cops beating up black kids. By kids, of course, I mean mostly like 15 to 17-year-old. Or honestly, 15, probably more like 15, 20-something. But it's hard to tell. And this has led to a lot of, first of all, a lot of malls closing. A lot of other malls instituting policies which are mismatched to the situation, but might be effective in the short. Of doing things like disallowing unaccompanied minors. Like if you're under 18, you have to be accompanied by a parent or a competent adult or something like that. Oh, dig spot. Things like that. But also, it leads to a lot of malls just sort of shutting down because they can't afford security for this. And well, here's the thing. Yeah, here's another thing. Apparently, according to a friend of mine, so a bit of a grain of salt to this, because it's not like firsthand, right? But this is one of those, I know somebody who knows somebody who was a sort of consultant, business consultant for a lot of malls in this area, in sort of Central Florida area, who years ago was trying to find a way to explain to them that they need to stop, or not stop, but at least to stop bringing in stores that would appeal to certain demographics. Essentially, black teenagers. Specifically, black teenagers. Not just black people in general, but black teenagers specifically. And not teenagers in general. Black teenagers specifically. Now, they couldn't just say that because that would be, might even be illegal to even say that sort of thing, like to say that's your goal. But even if it's not illegal to say that's your goal, you'd never get away with it with any kind of, corporate higher-ups. Yeah, lizard. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where yeah, there's an obvious solution to the there's a solution at least to the problem. There's a potential solution, but
funny, but looks aren't everything.
Implementing that solution requires hurting people's feelings, and we can't just do that. In any case, it is one of the reasons why I'm pretty enthusiastically supporting James Fishback for Florida governor. Now I say pretty enthusiastically, not like wholeheartedly or whatever. I want to know what the veiled path is. I'm going on it. I don't care. I'm going off the beaten trail. Let's do this. Your minions. That is a Jack of Blades statue. Anyway, so yeah, the what swords would those be? Oh, God, I don't even know. There were specific lists that were recommended. Another thing that that I know this is, I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, but it's something I've heard, is that playing classical music in malls is a way of discouraging, especially black youths, but in general, from congregating and causing problems. Partially just because it's not going to be the kind of music that young people like in general, or at least the kind of young people who are going to be causing problems with it. Frankly, but also because of the psychological effects, right? You're far less likely to cause mischief and mayhem if there is if the sort of atmosphere around you is you subconsciously perceive it as high class. You're not going to be cause problems. So there's that. Those are possibilities. Anyway, going back a bit. Oh, lots of stuff. Oh, that sounds fun. Rubber doggo. Yeah. Okay, well, do a circle. Innocent Pass, how did you guys react to the Catholic Kingdom of Spain winning the World Cup? No one mentioned got into a state of grace, partially to say Rose. Asking for Spain's victory, of course, to save soul. The latter of those is really should be the focus, but like I said, was it in the chat or was it in Discord? That sounds like it could be a potentially even problematically ulterior motive. It's something worth bringing up to your confessor, or at least to your spiritual director. Have one. Yeah. Imsum says the coach and many players are Catholic who wear crosses today. Yeah, I mean, praying for your team there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. All wrong with that, really. But having that be a sort of primary motivator for holiness is a bit disordered. Yeah, I will say I'm also not a I'm also not a big soccer fan. Call it soccer. Come on, doggo. Please. Majestic jump. Oh, no, Grace, no, you're right. Store employees do not have jurisdiction over music in the store. That is, first of all, sad. But absolutely, I don't doubt that for a second. Ah! That did nothing! Oh, that did something. Oh man, I missed. Really? There we go. Woohoo! That was cool. They're a lot less tough than in Fable 1. Good. Maybe they're a little outdated. But okay. Even assuming that is correct, that employees don't specifically have that kind of role, management does. And the person I'm talking about had he was a consultant for like at the corporate level rather than at the store level.
Those are nice shoes.
For like mall
But don't you think your grand's feet
wide
are
management.
cold without them?
For like the companies that own the malls themselves. Like for I think he consulted with Westfield, if I remember correct, specifically, which is a big mall owner here. They But yeah, like I said, this would be this would really be more of a corporate level kind of question rather than a particular like franchise owner or even individual store owner. Really, this is more of a.
Winter's my favorite season. I love the snow, and that's when most people die.
More of a mall level question rather than a store level question.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I hate you. I can't decide whether I like your looks or your personality better. It's like comparing mud to Must be nice being able to lick your own privates. Doesn't that embarrass your dog?
What the hell was that?
Think your weapon might be bad? Oh no, wait! That's you!
Ha! That was a gay joke. I don't know if you caught that. You wouldn't have if you. This is such an English game. Being bent as an insult.
Crushing them. My favorite things are music and sunshine and love. And I'd like to come round your house and say, "Where am I getting You know what I like most about people?
Okay, this is awful. Do I get one more? Oh, no, no.
Pull your head out your ass.
There you are, you little fucker. In a traditional style non-outdoor mode, to use our music, but when I were to guess before, which is an outdoors, the store playlist was falling. So it wouldn't be Watchman Wakefield, I think so. Not the person who I'm talking about. He was just a consultant who he consulted for Wakefield, or not Wakefield. Dude, what did I say? Anyway, so I've got my by the way, I've got a Shinerbach, which has been recommended to me for years in my Knights of the Aquinas stuff. Which is pretty good. I'm not sure I understand the hype, but it is pretty good. Yeah, my guess is it's probably General Spaces and like specific leasing, is because that's I know what he was talking about here, as being kind of, I don't know, key to the whole project of making sure the right kinds of customers, so to speak. That sounds like the right kinds of customers tends to have racial overtones, and I mean, it can't help but have some racial overtone here as well. There's a sort of racial element to what was going on, but also that's it is a question of safety, security, and profitability. it's an uncomfortable subject, really, to all of us as we are, all born, bred, and raised in a largely anti-racist culture. The Enigma? Do I want to go in here? I don't think I want to go in. Oh, treasure room. That's who handles the Halifax shopping center. Yeah, it could be. I mean, look, preferred customers are almost always people with disposable income who are likely to dispose of it. And for a long time, that was middle to upper class, like upper middle class teenagers with dad's credit card. Like, for the longest time, that was the targeted demographic of malls. And that's why malls became sort of hangout spots for young people. Because, you know, we lived in an affluent enough society such that parents would just give their kids, their teenage kids, their credit cards. And within reason, they could go and spend money on frivolities and fun, you know? And hang out with their friends. Shopping, or hanging out at the food court, or Smoothie King, or whatever. I guess that example doesn't extend all the way back to the last century, but it extends to when I was a teenager. Anyway, point being that is really not the case anymore. Both because kids today don't do on-ground shopping almost at all. But then also because there just isn't that kind of disposable income around. Kind of playing around money. Especially for young people. Oh, hey. Why are you attacking me? I am the rightful king. Your rightful king, even. Okay. Those guys, huh? Now, where is this cave? Grace says, you actually have some expertise on the, or I don't know about expertise, but some knowledge. Says, if your demographic is the guest demographic or crossing, more upscale shopping area, definitely more of an older 20s, 30s more successfully found. Now, yeah, but specifically, yes. I know teenagers used to shop at Gap. Back in my day, I didn't because I was a boy. But yeah, that is absolutely something that that is a store that teenage girls used to shop at. Back in my day, I guess, would be mid-noughties, roughly. Take some strategy. What was that? Tried to jump over me, but I snapped her neck. Is that what just happened? Okay, fascinating. All right. In any case, I will say that one thing that James Fishback is campaigning on is putting a stop to these so-called teen takeovers in Florida, both at malls but also in beaches. He actually went out with his personal security.
Here, doggy, doggy. Come over here and die.
Yeah, he went out with his personal security to Clearwater Beach, like right after there was this teen takeover. And said that, well, as governor, he would be sending law enforcement to put a stop to these and to arrest anyone involved. But in the meantime, encourage business owners to defend themselves. Like, that's ballsy. But yeah, ballsy is a great description of his campaign. So now he makes some missteps. Does make some missteps. Like he's strongly in favor of certificates of need for a lot of not just utilities and things, but just businesses. Just like new businesses opening in an area, he wants to require a certificate of need for. Is the kind of nonsensical micromanagement that crushes small business. And drive prices up for essential services. Certificates of need, by the way, are part of why hospitals are so damn expensive in the U.S. Because there's just so few of them. Far fewer hospitals than actually. Because existing hospitals lobby against new ones receiving certificates, so therefore being allowed to open. But what do you expect from a populist, right? I admire populism for its opposition to some of the gravest evils in the world right now. But at the same time, populists on both the left and the right are some of the most economically illiterate in the world. So, because they're not incentivized to actually know how economic, they're incentivized to say things that will make particular demographics, particularly, especially whatever those are, usually relatively resentful, lower middle class people, be willing to support them because they're going to fight the bad guys, whoever the bad guys either really are, or whoever they can convince their voters bad guys are. And I mean, Fishback does fall into that mold to some degree. Like, he's got some issues, especially relating to economic policy. But man, is he way better than any alternative. Here we go. Let's search the perimeter of this massive, massive area. What in the hell are those? Huh? That's it? This is the map? That is so profoundly useless. Roller's pulsing. There's a secret. That's my doggo wants to. I will say also, Fishback is one of the primary opponents, like in U.S. politics in general, of lock cameras, which is fantastic. Somebody needs to oppose that shit. Okay, my Balverines. My Balverines, let us prowl. Anyway, like I said, I mostly like Fishback. Certainly like his attitude. He's a little bit of a slimy politician, but, you know, he is efficient. When have I been pushing? Anyway, yeah, I do think that roof Koreans are kind of the ideal solution to takeovers. And I don't even mean just shooting people. I mean the fact that there are guys perched on the rooftops with rifles will absolutely deter teenage hooliganery in the surrounding area. If you have enough businesses with guys on the rooftops with rifles, the teenagers just won't be hooligans, at least not there. I do think that is kind of a large part of this. I don't want to. All right. Cool strike. But it's not going to let me up there. I think this is the way that I went lost in the desert without cover. Now that he's here, he can point me to spots to dig in the sand. Yeah. By the way, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it's possible, that that this game came out before the technology was widely available to slow down audio without lowering its pitch. Like, I remember being kind of amazed by that technology when it first appeared on YouTube. Right, the ability to speed up or slow down audio without altering the pitch. Because before, I don't know, maybe 2019, something like that, most of the time, if you wanted something to play faster, it would be at higher pitch. If you wanted something to play slower, if you slowed down audio, it would lower the pitch. I bring this up here because when you go in for a slow-mo kill, and one of the stupid gnomes is yapping, you might may have noticed, that his voice drops. The pitch of his voice drops to like almost a normal humanish level. To the point where it's not unbearably annoying. I mean, it's annoying still, not as unbearable. But yeah, I think that that's just sort of a reminder that is a relatively new technology, which is cool. And it's worth appreciating because I'm sure that somebody, somewhere, is watching this back on, 1.5 or 2 times speed or whatever. Or I guess if you redo premium, maybe triple speed. Do that, but... And I don't sound like a chipmunk. I just sound like Ben Shapiro, basically. Who, actually, bad example. My voice isn't that high, so it would have to be distorted upward to sound like. Right, gang? Those two. You're listening to it triple. Point being, though, that is one of those really cool technological developments that we've lived through relatively recently, and a lot of people completely forget about. We'll forget that is even a technological development. Now, where in the world is this stupid cave? It's down there, right? Like, it's right there? Go to the Auroran Cave. Yeah. The trail actually gonna lead me there, or what? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I just didn't have my trail set. But yeah, I have to say, it is quite nice to be able to slow things down, slow down audio nowadays, without having that weird vocal distortion speaking through molasses. Anyway, speaking of molasses, Lindsey Graham died. How about that last week, give or take? Don't know what I'm talking about? Look it up if you want. Don't know why that pun was funny? For you. In any case, though, I'm perfectly fine making that joke. I'm perfectly comfortable making fun of the man because he was a horrific, evil, blood-soaked warmonger. Who is likely in hell, which I've said publicly already. But God's mercy is eternal. Pray for him, and we still ought to. He may have at some point repented and converted.
Not like those mean gnomes. I'm a million times worse.
I love this game purely for... YouTube Premium allows for up to 4 times speed? Good lord. Yeah, that is I think only useful for, like, scanning for something, not actually listening to what it's trying. Like, you're trying to find that part where he was talking about that one thing. I could see that being you. And then, you slow it down to a comprehensive. Where is it, boy? Where is it? Where is this spat? Thank you. I turned into Joe Biden there. But anyway, there's a really fun and fascinating conspiracy theory about Lindsey Graham that he was killed either by Russians or Ukrainians or something in relation to a recent visit to Ukraine to some of their drone manufacturing facilities. Because, to be fair, it is a little weird, and perhaps it might even be suspicious or worth looking into, I guess, that he died within 24 hours of a trip to a drone manufacturing facility in Ukraine that may have been hit by the Russians around when he was there. Now, as for why that would happen, there's absolutely no justification behind this conspiracy theory. Like, there's no rationale here for why either Russia or Ukraine would want to kill Lindsey Graham. Because let's think it through. Ukraine wouldn't want to kill him because he's been one of the most ardent supporters in the Senate. Russia wouldn't want to kill him because if the assassination of a U.S. senator were linked to Russian operatives, the chances that the U.S. would actually go in to actual war on the side of Ukraine suddenly goes way up. So no, it strikes me as almost impossible. There's a few people, maybe on Twitter, who are barely real people, but maybe, who are suggesting Israeli involvement, but that's just people who suggest Israeli involvement in literally everything. So, I see absolutely no reason to think that. Yeah, this is actually one where I kind of believe the story. Like, he died. He was an old, perverse old man who died of, I guess, something like natural causes, some kind of sudden onset disease, whatever. Like, that seems honestly pretty plausible to me. He was a gross, not all that healthy old man who died. Okay, that sort of thing happens all the time. There's no conspiracy necessary to explain that. Grace says, I haven't heard this one. This is one that his wife secretly poisoned him or something, who suspiciously went back to China right after he died. That was not Lindsey Graham. That is the tortoise guy, who's allegedly not dead. Oh god, what's his name? Somebody help me. The other arch neocon in the Senate. Mitch McConnell. That's it, Mitch McConnell. The guy who looks like a tortoise. Yeah, Mitch McConnell is the one with the Chinese spy for a wife. Who is either in a persistent vegetative state or perhaps brain dead. And his wife left and has not returned from China since he either went into a persistent vegetative state or died. But also, he was a senator from Kentucky. One of the senators from Kentucky. So, the big conspiracy theory there is, which I think is actually kind of plausible, that the governor of Kentucky, who is again a pretty rancid neocon, if I remember correctly, has been hiding the fact of his death because he doesn't want the election. He doesn't want it to go into a special election, because if it goes into a special election, there's a pretty reasonable chance that Thomas Massey runs and wins.
Ladders have myriad uses, being of great value if one needs to assault a castle or clean the gutters. However, whatever the task at hand, the climber should...
And I mean, the fact that the Israel lobby just spent, $30 million or whatever to unseat him from Congress, only to have him become senator would give a lot more ancient and vile neocons heart attacks.
Ideally move quickly out of the way in the event that the climber accidentally drops a very large dangerous ballot. In retrospect, a more apt name for this duty would have been Dangerous Things Joiners Ballot.
I don't know why I'm not just doing that more. spell spam is really effective, I guess. At least against these guys. Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Yeah, now that conspiracy is one I can get behind. I think that that is actually pretty plausible. That he is in fact dead, or at least brain dead. But that his office, not he, but his office and the governor's office don't want that to become public yet. Because it would trigger a special election, and that would, like I said, lead to a reasonable chance of Thomas Massey being elected senator. Right after the Israel lobby just spent $30 million to get him out of Congress. Which would be the funniest thing ever. Honestly, that would be the funniest thing since Donald Trump gave out Lindsey Graham's phone number live on the debate stage. Not a debate stage, it was a speech, I think. He gave out Lindsey Graham's personal cell phone number. I don't even know, like, why. He just kind of, like, mentioned it offhandedly when he was talking about having phone calls with Lindsey Graham. He was like, yeah, no, here's his number. Remember when Donald Trump was really funny? Like 10 years ago? Okay, okay, so how the special election works. I'm not going to explain like your 5, because I want to use reasonable size words. I've got well, I don't have a 5-year-old actually. But I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I don't want to explain it like I don't want to explain it to either of them. No thanks. That doesn't sound fun. But I'll explain the best I can. So when a senator dies, typically there's 2 options. One, the governor can appoint an interim senator until the election in November, until the next election. This is usually this varies state by state what the window for that is, the time window for that is. But usually that happens if the election is relatively close. That's what happened with Lindsey Graham. The governor of, I guess, South Carolina? Yeah, South Carolina just appointed his sister as the interim senator. Now, of course, the initial selling point is that, well, she's not actually going to run. She's only in there to kind of keep his seat warm until a real election can be held in November. But that was a lie. She's running. Of course, that was a lie. That was a lie. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, though. Is if the election is far enough away, and that varies state by state. But for Kentucky, I know it's like August 1st, I think, for Kentucky. So if the senator dies or is otherwise unable to fulfill the duties of his office, which I don't know why a persistent vegetative state is not qualified for that, but whatever. But if they die, at least, they are an immediate special election is called, and there's a notice of like a month, much shorter notice. And then I believe. Now, I don't remember if that means that the newly elected senator just goes into the next election as normal. I think it does, but they have incumbency status now, which really helps. And also, having to win 2 elections, one after the other, is honestly a little less difficult than having to run 2 different opponents against you, one after the other. Realistically, run the guy who just lost, because they're going to lose again. That's how that works. In any case. So yeah, that is basically the scenario. So basically, the governor of Kentucky is trying to deny that McConnell is dead long enough so that it goes to the November election. He can appoint an interim senator, who will then go into the election with his with that pseudo incumbency status, rather than having to go through a special election, because he doesn't want to give Thomas Massey a chance to jump in to that race and to win, because there's a real chance that can happen. They don't know if Miriam Adelson has another $30 million to throw at another election this soon. Yeah, no, it's not dead, but it is incapable of performing senatorial duties. Like, you're disabled for an indeterminate amount of time. Like, you can't vote. I don't know how those bylaws work specifically. I know it triggers if you die. I don't know if it triggers under a certain medical condition. That might also be governor discretion or whatever. Oh, great. Back. Women. Get back, sand women. We get them all? Killer pupper doggo. Whoa! They dodged that? How did that happen? Dang, okay. Alright, let's run it. Yes, Grace, begone, sand thoughts. Hit me with a weenie little crossbow bolt. That's it, right? In any case, it's a fascinating little political shit show all around, really. All in the South. All among disgusting old neocon. Who, while we should mourn their deaths, we can rejoice in the fact that they're no longer in power. Missed a treasure? Where is it? Show. Where's the pupper doggo? Where's it? Where are the enemies? Pupper doggo, where's the treasure? Also, why does the shiny light want me to go back? Oh great, you're stuck in a pillar. I bet this is the treasure he was talking about. The once monthly hit from the sentient shit poster in your mind. Well, that's good. Good to see that she's still alive. She's always fun. Alright. Welcome back, Imsing. Just in time, not for preposterous questions, but for me to bring up a preposterous topic. This is something that I've seen it before, I've noticed this before, but it just came to my mind just because I saw somebody complaining about it. I saw people complaining about it on opposite sides of this issue. And that is Murray Rothbard in particular. the libertarian philosopher. And then also I see this applied to Ludwig von Mises as well. I see this applied to both of them from time to time. These are those sorts of people who I find it really really funny, who are like viscerally rejected by some extreme elements on the right and some extreme elements on the left, not specifically for their political ideas, but rather they are rejected for something like their identity, because people on the extreme right, you know the types. You'll know the types when I explain what I'm talking about. There are some people on the extreme right who refuse to listen to anything that Murray Rothbard had to say because he was a Jew. And so he must be some kind of subversive anti-family type or whatever. Which, okay, to say that Murray Rothbard had some anti-family ideas, fair enough. Rothbard's ideas on children were abjectly incorrect. And I will say, look forward to an interview I'm planning with Harry Baldwin of the Libertarian Christian Institute on this new book, Hate Seeking Freedom, from the Institute. Very good. I just finished it. Hopefully I'll have that interview coming in the next two. But in any case, sorry, little plug there. But yeah, Rothbard got some bad ideas there. But in any case, he gets shouted down for being a Jew by some extremists on the right, while also getting shouted down by some extremists on the left for being an anti-Semite, because he recognized the influence that the Israelites had in the U.S. 90s, and allied with the paleocon right, also in the early 90s, with people like Pat Buchanan. And so he is a kind of anti-Semite by association, even though he was himself Jewish, and a Thomist.
Awaiting your command, my lord.
So yeah, that whole thing is very funny. It's the whole like Schrodinger's Jew problem, which I really find funny. Where you'll get the very same people, often, not just Rothbard, not just Mises. Hell, I've even seen this happen to Dave Smith. Where there are people on the right who distrust them because they're Jewish, and there are people on the left who distrust them because they're apparently anti-Semitic.
Greetings.
Yeah, we may or may not deposit more gold. Possible.
For you, Your Majesty. Ah, my lord.
We do, however, need to open some.
Ah, hello. That appears to be all of the gifts.
Let's switch that rifle back.
The armory is at your disposal. Pistols are less accurate than rifles, but are faster and more maneuverable.
All right, go to the castle.
Delivery,
sir.
Anyway, I find that very funny. A little bit annoying. It's even more annoying when... Gosh, okay, the worst example I find of this is when I will share something to a right-wing friend, or even just acquaintance, from the Mises Institute, which is from Mises.org. Especially if it's written by a Catholic, and even more funny if it's written by a Catholic who's more traditionalist than they are. Somebody like Tom Woods, Jeffrey Tucker, those sorts. Neither of whom actively publish on the Mises Institute, but have in the past, and so they have some stuff. So I've shared some stuff from Mises Institute. And I've had people... I've had right-wingers.
Go up. Market economy, I'm afraid.
I've had people, again, right-wingers. That sort of right-wingers.
What would you like today? Pleasure dealing with you.
I've had some right-wingers who will just say, well, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm not going to read anything from Mises. He was a Jew. Not Jewish website. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm sending you an article from a Catholic. Shut up.
Hurrah!
Anyway, it's very funny.
That
Very
sheriff
funny
will
to me.
never make me talk.
Also very
No
annoying.
rat.
Hey. Fail.
Something. He's a good friend.
If business carries on like this,
We'll figure a way to get me.
I could probably just release this guy. Oh no, that's part of that quest, isn't it? Okay, fine. Shouldn't do that. How much do I know about the Parmarian Church? Very little. Why? Very little. One of those things that I've heard. I've heard a good few things about it, but I don't know much offhand.
At your command.
greetings, my liege.
That makes sense. All for 20. I should stop buying rental properties. I mean, it is a positive investment. Like, it does make me money, but not as much as business.
At your orders, sir.
All right.
Woohoo!
Ah, Your Majesty. Hello.
Hmm.
Sir.
Cool hat.
My lord and
Cooler
master,
mustache.
accept this gift as a token of our appreciation for all you've done for us.
Hello there.
Salutations, mighty prince. Salutations, my most...
Gift from the maid? Oh, sure.
I mean, Your Majesty. Greetings, Your Majesty.
At your command.
Yippee!
Your Majesty.
Sim says, I just watched a documentary. Origins are interesting. Marian apparition.
Yes, sir.
The Bishop of Seville investigated and declared them false. It's actually a Marian.
Your
I mean,
Majesty.
it is, to that degree, at least in that respect, similar enough to mythological game. However you're supposed to say that. What quest do I have in the old quarter? Buy this food vendor, obviously. The old quarter's been rebuilt, which is... Oh, that guy, right. Industrial. There were no quests here. Rickety little. Quite a few quests in them. They're all the evil. Oh, another escaped convict. I could do that one. Probably will. The to steal Reaver's underwear for a weird lady. No, thank you. Please keep me away, woman, and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and sell this place. I'm gonna sell these houses. Don't need them. I don't need the additional expense of repairs. mean, that's good rent, but that's also a really expensive house. 25,000, yeah. Sure. Ooh, general goods store I don't own. Yeah, buy that. There's Evil Quest in Morningwood. There's... It's just the Pita Lady. House for me to sell. Oh, and Look Ugly. Can't do it. It's impossible. Wheel of Misfortune. Yeah, I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Never have. Medjugorje. Or Medjugorje. Medjugorje. Whatever. This is a shop. I'll buy it. Yes. But no. Driftwood. Vacant. It lives over there. It lives right next door and works at my The Eco Warrior. I'm sorry, what? There's Eco Warriors living here? I need to buy these and evict them. Jameson said, essentially a Marian apparition and a Sedevacantist movement earned semi-primitivist, or preventist. Okay, so what is it? They deny papal authority, but that he is legitimate. It's just that he doesn't have authority over certain things or something. Right. But they have actually changed the Mass, the Bible, and added aliens. Okay. As well as introduced new innovations. Okay. Yeah, that's added aliens. I mean, I like that, personally. That's because I'm straight. I'm a... shooting range. It says some of their norms or strict laws intrigue me, that I wonder why they shouldn't be laws. Declare women wearing pants or listening to rock music. Oh, because that's insane. That's why. All this back. I hope to the selling these to the resident. Gypsy-o. Grace says, the other night, Doc on Padre Pio pop up. Have you heard of him? We know of him. Yes, you know of him. He's a fascinating character. I mean, first of all, as Simpson says, Padre Pio is an actual saint. Yes, he is a saint. He's a stigmatist. So that is to say, he suffered through a lot of his life with astigmatism. Or sorry, not astigmatism. That would be less interesting. Stigmata. That is, he received the wounds of Christ in some form or another. So he had basically like bleeding wounds, hands, and I think in his side as well. I don't know if he ever did on his feet, but he suffered the wounds of Christ sometimes in his life. He's also quite the evangelist. So fascinating guy. Chicken Ray. Oh, I have books. Anime. Gnomes are evil. True. Yes. But yeah, Padre Pio is very cool. Incredibly holy man. I also attribute largely to him the reversion, I guess you'd call it, of Shia LaBeouf, who played him in the movie. Not just because not to say that Shia LaBeouf is like like a model of sainthood, but he is a model of a Catholic who struggles a lot, but I think has a real heart of piety, and a lot of that comes from the sort of research he did for that role, which is around when he wound up part of that. Very cool. Yes, my delightful pile of gold. That's a nice pile of gold. This is a nice pile. This is a pretty good gold pot, I gotta say. 6.5 million. Enough to fund our ability to save everyone. No problem. Wow!
It's more beautiful than I dared.
That's a big diamond. Oh my god.
And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account?
Why? I have nothing to buy.
Who knew that a Roran sandpit could hold such wonders?
700,000. Not bad. Yeah, absolutely. That gives us some nice wiggle room.
I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, your majesty. Bravo.
Oh, the next document was on Carlo Acutis. He's also really cool. He's like the sort of the millennial saint. Yeah. He was like a gamer saint who playing Halo, and he did a bunch of. I think he actually wound up doing a bunch of programming that wound up finding its way to the Vatican website or something like that, if I remember. Yeah. Cool kid, extremely holy. Absolutely adored the Eucharist, literally. Alright. The Desert Star. The money from the sale of the Aurora Diamond will help fund your armies. The kingdom is one step closer to safety. 50 gold seals for that. I have plenty in the treasury for right now.
You have shown yourself to be a most talented monarch. The treasury is positively overflowing. You might even consider borrowing a little for yourself. Of course, it never hurts to earn even more. Who knows what the future will bring? With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamoring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury and of the long-term welfare of the people, I have a counter-proposal. It's somewhat radical, but rather brilliant, if you don't mind me saying. We charge people for every child they have. This would keep the population low, but more importantly, the Treasury high. Is it really fair to bring new life into such an uncertain world?
Can I kill him,
Won't that goal
please?
go to help the children who have already been born? Of course, you may also choose to keep Logan's policies.
Can I just...
The matter is entirely
Can I at
in your
least
hands.
fire him?
Reinstating the child benefit system would be a popular
200,000,
move, of
that's
course.
it.
However, one must consider at what cost that popularity would come.
Yeah,
Very
pay people
well.
to have children, absolutely.
The breeders amongst the rabble will be ecstatic, I'm sure. Perhaps you are considering making a personal donation
Pressing
to
the gun
Treasury
button.
to make up for the shortfall. It is entirely your decision, as always. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day.
Proposal to renovate the Bowerstones shelter and orphanage. Did a proposal on how to deal with excess sewage. Meet with Paige.
As you can see, you have two audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumors that Reaver's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
I don't want to kill him too. Let's do this. We are probably gonna have to deposit more money, aren't we? We have.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
We've just shy of 1 million. All right, we'll have 1 million very soon, that we can just throw in there to give us some wiggle room. Are there any other saints I should look into that are also super interesting? I'm partial to Saint Drossinos of Soissons. He's my own patron saint. He's the patron of invincibility and thwarting the plots of one's enemies. He was a bishop in Soissons, France, the 6th century, I think, something like that, 7th century. I've got a little video on him, but he is he's most famous for his like major exploit was he was dealing with a hostile pagan barbarian king who wanted basically wanted him dead and wanted the lot of the Christians in his domain in the southern France area to get out, and especially to stop evangelizing, because it was like they were evangelizing his soldiers, which he didn't like. Basically,
If I give you this, will you do something for me?
Weapons in all shapes and sizes, just for you.
Can I be of service, my lord?
Happy to be of service.
Don't care how you look, I'm still yours. Can't deny
Happy
you
to
could
be
do
of
with the
service.
sprucing up, though.
We're owned by... Always happy to buy your unwanted items. Come back if you have anything else to sell. Thank you for your custom.
Your face fuzz is giving people nightmares.
Honey.
The people all think you can do...
Anyway, yeah. So he's fascinating. There is not much to know about him because there aren't a lot of records, but there's certainly no documents as much as I would like there to be.
I
Unfortunately,
think I love you.
you think, huh? We have 2 kids. I hope so.
This is why I married you. I always have more to spend on new stock when people buy
In any
them.
case, though, yeah, the
It's our mighty king. Hello.
what he wound up doing with this king who despised Christian. He wound up basically going around his back, over his head, and surreptitiously, and also just by convincing, getting him to allow Drossinos
This place is
to...
very dangerous.
Oh, porcelain doll? I think I have one.
Daddy, Great! I can't wait!
I think I've got one. Do I not have one? I had one.
The most original haircuts in town.
Good to see you, Your Majesty.
I thought I had one. I'm gonna check your toy boxes first, because that seems reasonable. Anyway, though, yeah. So he basically wound up opening a bunch of monasteries and convents in this guy's lands, either both behind his back, and then also with his sort of begrudging permission. He talked him into it, basically, through various fasting and prayer and all that session.
Daddy, it's great to see you.
But yeah, it was it's very cool. He basically, without converting the guy, this king. I forget what the king. Oh, hey, yeah, there wasn't one in your honey. There was one in your toy box. Do you want it? Right, Mary. But he wound up converting a lot of the people without actually converting this king, Ebwin, or Ebouin, or something French.
Thank you so much!
Starts with Eb. In any case, he basically is well known for undermining this guy who desperately wanted him and his whole congregation dead, and instead vastly expanding the church. Just very cool. Female saints. There are plenty of really cool female saints. My favorites are Saint Monica, after whom I named a daughter. So obviously, like her a lot. That is Saint Augustine's mother. The biggest the biggest stories, the most stories you get about Saint Monica are from Augustine, and particularly from his Confessions. He talks about her a lot, and how she was persistently praying for him, even when he was praying from the faith and was living an incredibly debauched life throughout his youth, absolutely misspending a lot of his youth. Daughter of mine will speak to that. Oh, that's right. But yeah, she is an inspiration to especially to parents, even more so to parents of difficult children who have wandered away from the right path, but who still want to have hope for them. That's the thing. And then you've got probably the two of the most famous women martyrs for the church were Saints Felicity and Perpetua, who were martyred together. They were most known for refusing to renounce their faith in order to marry pagan men.
Marvelous work. Marvelous.
To whom they were promised. Betrothed isn't quite right, but promised essentially by their families. Their family set them up with pagan men, and rather than renounce the faith, which they would have needed to in that context to marry them, they went to martyr. They were killed. They were early Roman martyrs. A lot of what they because they left records. They actually wrote about their commitment to faith. And a lot of what their attitudes toward this were beautiful and inspirational. So again, I recommend the martyrdom of Felicity and Perpetua if you're looking at female saints, women saints that you'd like to see more about.
Extracts from the diary of a hermit.
Oh, this one.
Day
Okay.
1. I have
You've found over a third of all the books we need. Amazing.
Excellent! Good for you.
Overkey?
You are a most courageous book hunter. Well, not that there's any call for courage. Probably. As I said, the
There is sometimes.
invocation of the Watchers is in a house in the Bowerstone Old Quarter. I'm sure you'll find it with consummate ease.
Thank you so much. It's absolutely splendid.
In a house in the Bowerstone. I'm gonna have to buy all the houses in the Bowerstone Old Quarter for this. That's really annoying. I don't wanna. Anyway, those are probably my three favorite female saints. And I will say that funny thing about that, we named our second daughter Monica, spelled correctly, by the way, as Saint Augustine spells the name of his mother, 2 N's. But we kind of stalled out on thinking of other girl names, and so with our 2 subsequent sons, Gabriel and Benedict, we were kind of worried because we were really having trouble thinking of new girl names. Because, well, yeah, there are a lot of there are some great staple names. The good old Catholic names of, you know, Mary, which is obvious, Teresa, obvious. The problem is that those are the names of my wife's mother and my mother, and we don't really want to give any of our close relatives that much of either an ego boost or a how do I put this, an invitation to raise our children for us, so to speak. If you know what I hope I'm talking about vaguely. That sort of thing.
If you can't find a gift here, it ain't worth giving.
What is going on there? I think I'm good. All right. All right, now we can go back to the, not quite to the throne room. I do want to deposit that million gold. Then we'll go back.
Daddy, it's great to see you.
Hey, kids.
Here you first.
No convicts on the loose.
Don't take too long. Don't want that criminal to get away for good now, do we?
But where?
Don't take too long.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. Yeah, let's go back to Aurora real quick. Do this. Why not? Oh, St. Bridget, yeah. I just don't know if we like the name Bridget, and we also have an overly Catholic named daughter, Saoirse. Or not overly Catholic, sorry. Overly Irish named daughter, Saoirse. Okay, stop yapping, everyone. God, okay. Yeah, we've already got Saoirse. That is an extremely Irish name. Arian's Mutable.
Oh yes.
You have a talent for bargain hunting.
Oh, 5 people who love you. Oh my god, okay.
Ooh.
You see that? This is the Black Widowmaker.
Greetings,
You should
Your
take
Majesty.
The Widower Maker.
Your Majesty.
Make 5 villagers love you.
Hello.
Kill them.
You
Sorry.
are a
Make
great
5 villagers
leader,
love
Your
you.
Majesty.
Marry them.
Stars above.
Kill them all.
King! Greetings, Your Majesty.
That's horrific.
The price on that has been reduced.
I'm glad we're such good friends. We
Our
are
prices
very
are the
fond
lowest
of you
they've
around
ever
here.
been.
You are a wise ruler.
Okay.
Want to buy goods from a shop owned by a famous hero?
Perpetua, while it's a beautiful name, is not exactly an English name. Felicity, not exactly. Also, I don't know if I love naming the kids again, after martyrs. I don't know if that's. I don't know if I love that idea. Yeah, we got 2 archangels. We're not doing the third and other reason. But we've also got and then Benedict of the monastic.
Your Majesty, welcome to our temple. I lament the forlorn state in which you find it. Before the darkness came, this room held our most sacred treasure. I had lost all hope of recovering it, for that would require journeying into the desert. We have lost so many people. Who among us would have the courage to face the sands now?
Okay.
Thank you. You will forgive me for not being more forthright. I am unaccustomed to asking rulers for their help. As for the matter in question, this chamber once housed the temple's sacred dyes. Our rituals cannot be completed without them. The dyes are made from rare flowers found throughout Aurora and the surrounding desert. Gathering them has always been a dangerous task, but when the darkness fell upon us, it became an impossible one.
I see.
If you can find these flowers and bring them to me, I will begin making the dyes again, and perhaps our people can recover some of the faith they have lost. We will gladly share them with you, of course.
Here's some flowers.
You have done a great service for us. On behalf of all Aurorans, I thank you.
What more?
The yellow dye represents prosperity. It is used in times of shortages and famine.
Thanks. Do I have more? I don't have more. Alright, well, I can do that eventually. Speaking of, I'm gonna see if I can... Oh, that's a lot of presents.
That appears to be all of the gifts.
Let's see here.
You have several new suits. Those will make dressing easy.
I'm gonna change my hair.
Reconsider, have you? Very well.
Oh. It doesn't change because I have the crown. King's military.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
Wait.
I like what you've done with your hair.
that okay with the... Honestly? No.
An excellent selection.
I think that actually looks way better
Stay
with
any
that.
hat you may select, but never mind.
Let me see if I can dye this anything. Purple. Turquoise. Let's try blue. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Ah, very nice.
Okay, yeah, that looks nice. I'm gonna save it instead of the armor.
Ah, very good. You certainly look like a person who's about to impale someone with magically conjured swords. Surely I'm not the first person ever to tell you that. That facial hair is sure to turn a few heads. Hopefully it will not interfere with you turning your own.
Okay. Let's dye our wizard suit. Wizard? Yeah, let's go... So light. Feet? Let's keep our boots brown. What about the trim? Make that turquoise. Yeah? Let's see how gray looks. On the body. Ooh, that's nice. That's actually good. All right, I dig it.
I wonder if it would be definitely better than it was.
Save this here.
It
Got my
shall
blue
stay that
wizard.
way until you alter it.
All right. Well, I'm going back to do king things, so let's back to our king outfit.
Yes, I remember that look.
Classic.
Any other business to attend to?
I've killed almost all the gnomes. I'm a little disappointed, by the way, that we didn't go at all to Oakvale. Kind of thought we would. Game. The home of the legendary hero, you know? But first,
At your service, my king.
let's deposit $1 million gold.
At your service.
Bank account in our royal treasury, just in case. My Grace says, actually, St. Bridget would be one I'd like to learn about, but also did watch a ton on St. Patrick, on St. Patrick's Day. Also good. St. Patrick's, the life of St. Patrick is really interesting to read. Because it still has all of that, a lot of the like supernatural elements that get excised from a lot of modern retellings of hagiographies. For understandable reasons, I suppose, but mostly just due to lack of creativity on the part of the people who write about them. Let's throw another $1 million in here just in case. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Because, you know, we may wind up having to spend a lot of money on these next couple of things.
Ah, Your Majesty. Hello.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion.
Hey.
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Reva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge
Turn into
for
a
the homeless,
brothel.
the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps we can begin to create a better future for Albion's forgotten people.
Okay, good case.
I could not agree more. The city and its people are in dire need. But it is not charity they require, it is love. I propose we use this dilapidated building to help both them and ourselves. For love and money have always gone hand in hand.
Oh.
Let us inaugurate Bowerstone's first brothel.
A brothel?
Brothel, bordello, whorehouse. The name is unimportant. What matters is that the people get the love they need, and we get their money.
Yes, it's for your majesty to decide. Refurnish the shelter and orphanage, or convert it into a house of ill repute.
Okay, are we just gonna skim over the fact that we're talking about opening a brothel in place of an orphanage?
Do you not want to boast of a more progressive society? Then let us be open about its needs. And let us be real.
Can this guy be hanged yet?
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone shelter shall be refurbished at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
50,000.
You've done the right
Fine.
thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own.
And not to turn tricks in, please. Because that seems to be the implication here. The kind of thing that requires a nice millstone necklace. Alright, excess sewage.
Are you a beggar? Too lazy to own your own clothes? Or perhaps an orphan, aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Reva Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
God. Okay, never mind. He can live. That was funny.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue. The disposal of the city's waste. Reva will offer his proposal.
A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone
I just made enough money
beginning
to
to
do
have a
the problem.
serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Reaver Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There can be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all. We're all children of the soil. It's in our hearts, it's in our blood. It's under our fingernails. What I
You're not
mean is
convincing
we're
me.
all equal when it comes to dirt, like. From dirt we come, to dirt we go.
Okay, fair
yes?
enough on that one.
We who reside in Morningwood have as good a claim to being clean as anyone. And what of Morningwood itself? Its nature spirits, its woodland elves, and water fairies.
You have
Do they not
those?
deserve freedom from pollution too? Don't destroy paradise with your urban dregs, man. Channel the waste. Be one with the cycle of life. You have all these, like, factories and stuff, don't you? Turn one into a, what do you call it? One of those things, a sewage reclamation facility. Right on.
What shall you decide, Your Majesty?
This is such a wildly technologically advanced solution for this point in society, but assuming that's possible, sure.
I have
150
visited Morningwood myself, and can honestly say that an influx of sewage will do little to alter its character.
Right, though. He's right about that. And I also hate hippies. This is the most tempting decision so far, honestly.
Please, I'm begging here. Don't flood my house with crap, okay?
That's a good point, although you do have a house on stilts. So, damn it, make better arguments. I want to side with you, man. Such a weird little
Why
hippie.
waste money dealing with filth when we have a perfect disposal site available?
The short-term solution. Please bring up that this is short-term thinking. Grace says, I actually do like to learn about the saints.
Crown person. The moon and the sun and the tiny bears, like, totally demand it.
Yes. Grace says, I actually do like to learn about the saints. I find a lot of genuine interest in them. Honestly, I feel like those who've truly taken a path
Can
to
you
follow
imagine
simply laid out
the
the Bible.
fumes we would be
Also
releasing
wild
into
that
the
even
air
a
if we were
thought
to
would go to
recycle
replacing a
our
shelter and
waste.
orphanage brothel.
really?
Yeah, like, aside from the whole, like, why are we building a brothel? An orphanage?
This is the only world we have.
Okay.
If we don't
You know what?
learn to love it, and to caress it, and to read it bedtime stories, then what future do we have?
I hate this guy, but there's a clear, correct decision. These two are just trying very hard to convince me otherwise. Like, Reaver's actually making surprisingly good arguments,
Into a waste
and the
recycling
hippie is
plant
making
will be a
surprisingly
very
bad arguments.
costly procedure and a preposterous one.
Morningwood is to be left unspoiled. We will find other ways to deal with Bowerstone's sewage problem.
The king has spoken. Morningwood shall not be used as a waste site. The sanitation committee will look into safer alternatives.
Groovy. You are like a majestuous eagle, Your Majesty. You are in touch with your inner innards. Granny Nature thanks you from, like, the bottom of her heart.
Please get out of my...
Pity. I must admit I was rather looking forward to breathing fresh air, but I'm sure Your Majesty knows best.
Good argument. There are really good arguments. Okay, there are really good arguments against Reaver's position here, but stupid hippie over here refuses to make them. Like, this is an incredibly short-term solution. Like, dumping waste into a nearby swamp is going to cause problems to Bowerstone in the surrounding area. pretty quickly. Not to mention, well, he did mention the whole like woodland fairies and nymphs and things. Yeah, turning those nature spirits into evil and destructive ghosty things is a real possibility in this world. Would have been nice to bring that up. Would have also been nice to bring up the, again, short-term thinking employed here. The fact that this only puts off the problem for probably a few years until Morningwood is essentially uninhabitable and can no longer be used as a dumping site until it begins like overflowing, like basically backflowing, either into Bowerstone and clogging the sewers, or into the sea, and that causing its own problems. Like, those are the issues here. The sewage treatment plant is the low time preference solution to this problem. Like, please, guys, make good arguments for the good decision instead of making the best arguments possible for the bad decision, and also being funny about it, then presenting a dirty hippie to argue for the good decision. Like, that was annoying. All right.
There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Riva Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Bowerstone Sewage Recycling Facility, because there can be no affluence without effluence.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
Alright, back to Bowerstone Industrial in either case. I'm going to put on my wizard robes.
I hope everything is in order. Capital.
I haven't gotten to wear my wizard.
Well, sir. Greetings, Your Majesty.
At your service, my king.
Sorry.
All right, Your Majesty.
Speaking of which, I use wizard robes primarily in
My king.
RuneScape Dragon Wilds, playing a lot more of lately. Well, and of course, speaking of the fetid swamp down, there's also a undead zone that I just got to and unlocked. I will say I as much as okay, so I have this problem in Dragon Wilds that was always a problem in RuneScape as well. Own this? Buy it. Which is that, yeah, you try and specialize in something. Like, I tried to be a mage. Really, I tried to make my character primarily. But also, I wind up training melee and ranged significantly as well. Just because... because it's extremely difficult to solo the mage in a game like that. Whereas a game like this, you can pretty quickly cast a bunch of spells and keep off an array of enemies. It's much harder to do. Where was I going? Yay! Oh, I wanted to check out the new sewage treatment facility, wherever it is. I think it's down by the harbor. I just hear a gnome. Or is that a human with a voice?
Maybe some brave adventurer can do something about it.
Can I please have your autograph? Woohoo!
Entry of the child laborer.
Oh wow! Hello.
I ate a big breakfast today, getting my stomach ready for
it's
some
him.
serious drinking.
Anyway, as I was saying,
Hello, great lord.
as I was saying, yeah, in that game you really wind up kind of have to wind up training all or most of your abilities, which is frankly something that I always wind up doing in anyway. Not even all that deliberately. It's just kind of a necessity of how the game works. You wind up being a bit of a polyglot. Probably nothing good if it's in the old rebel headquarters. I don't know, maybe.
Attention.
I hope it's not. I think it might be. Wait, was it not over here? Oh, it's all the way over there. I bet I can swim over there. I can't, can I? Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, I could. Probably a bad idea. Let's go check it out, Charlie. I think I'm a very fast swimmer. Good lord. This isn't it. The dock. Here we go. Yeah, sewage treatment. Neat. Okay. Someone's throwing up into it. Well, there are worse places to throw up into, I guess.
Hello there, Your Majesty.
The water is getting treated. Pork? Pork bark? Oh, hey. Nice. Gold. Alright, so yeah, let's go to the,
The king! Wow!
wizard. Let's go to the rebel headquarters and see what Paige wants. Interesting. That'll probably wind up being the last thing we do tonight. Going soon. Now, can I finally do this gate and slaughter that horrible wolf?
Can I help you starve and die?
I should have Erica play this game next, so she can kill all the gnomes. That can be her primary, that can be her main quest, really. Well, the old Resistance headquarters is basically empty. That's interesting. Though, not unexpected, I guess. I mean, it has still quite the armory down here. That's kind of troubling. As king, a little unsettling. But there's no one here, which is kind of what I would expect, because no one needs to hide down here anymore. A doll on a pony. Kid left her doll down. No one here. Fires are still going, though. I guess Paige keeps those tended. Strange. Little liminal. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was going to mention. When we were talking about abandoned malls, or at least dead malls, there was a, there's this fantastic web series by Kane Pixels, the guy who did the Backrooms, called The Oldest of You. It is essentially about an abandoned mall. I think I have recommended it before. I know I've recommended it before, but I don't know about to current viewers. It's really cool. It is about a real specific mall, that being the shops at Midtown in Dallas, Texas. And it's about a guy who finds his way in there, metaphysically though, into a sort of twisted memory version. Excuse me, of this abandoned mall, and gets chased by the Rolling Giant, the sort of monster of the series. And it's fascinating. It's really cool because the entire thing, just like the back rooms, is completely computer generated, which is really impressive. It's incredibly impressive work. And it's also pretty spooky. Does some really good liminal space work. I really highly recommend it. Very cool.
It's not every day a king walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here.
You had a lot to do with it, Paige.
But we still haven't changed things enough. Without Logan's troops, crime is becoming a serious problem. There's one man in
take care of it?
particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own.
That guy?
Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now.
That guy,
He's too
really?
powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him.
Alright, let's do this. Call it a night.
Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go. King Wizard Hero to the rescue, huh? Let's get to that that tavern. My tavern, of course. As the king, I own everything in the kingdom. Once again, we're going on a feudal system here. The king owns practically all of the businesses. But this also means I have an incentive to, go protect my property over here. Right? which is an absolutely positive aspect of that kind of feudal monarchical ownership model.
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The king, no less.
This is unwise.
Filthy spellcasting bastard! You're going to set me on fire! That's it! Kill him! Kill him now!
Okay, yeah, the magic here is the...
It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent the hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operations in Bowerstone Market.
Market?
You've been provided with a key which will permit access. Please endeavour to prevent its transference to an unauthorized
Well, they did
individual.
endeavor. They endeavored pretty hard. It's just, I'm far too powerful of an unauthorized individual.
They're a vicious gang, those ferret boys. I hope they get what's
Cheers,
coming
folks.
to them.
I'll be
Best
back.
to clean up our own sewage, I guess. Hear they need a new songsmith round here.
Oh, it's another marvelous day.
Greater gift than love.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
There.
Did you ever wonder where they say?
Greetings, my liege.
At your service. Greetings, sir.
Yeah!
My lord. Greetings, sir. At your command. My lord.
Watch out! Hello, Your Royal Majesty.
Where am I going? Oh, down here. Okay. I see. Oh, I'll finish this. We'll finish this. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure the poor baby is not that sad.
You again.
Me again.
It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Kill him. Fast.
Let's see your skills then.
You filthy spell-casting bastard!
How did I miss?
Deader than dead. That's what it is.
Good one.
I wish I could cast spells like that. Right, time for my secret weapon. Oh, wow.
Where's everyone else?
Dead. Just like you. Can't get through. Okay. Well, I gotta go the long way, I guess. Alright. Ferret.
You gotta be more careful. That's damn ass cheating, that is.
My dear Bob, you're a ruthless crook and a big booby
This
as
guy
well.
again.
And since
He managed to get a letter in
you are
here.
a ruthless crook, I'm not signing this letter so that I can remain anonymous. Yours, Arthur. Oh.
Okay, well, he's not. Okay, fair enough. Come on now.
Please set me free.
Okay.
Well parried, lad.
Another problem solved. Unlock all these just in here. Oh, okay.
I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable.
I have a
in
gun.
addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
Yeah, there we go. Going for the gun.
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
That pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit.
Yes,
I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay in there and rot.
Can't I just
But
take it
that's
from
for
you
the
and then
king
throw
to
you into jail? Why did you say it was on your person? That was very unwise.
You royal miscreant! This grievous malefaction shall be rewarded with equally grievous
People who talk like this are decidedly unintelligent. I just made that much money. Rental property. It's stuck in the chat, but it is. Anyway, yeah, no, or I guess more from my businesses. So, yeah, no, this is very. People who talk like that are specifically putting on airs and tend to be, barely above average intelligence. That is midwit speak. Right. The whole Sheldon Cooper type of talkie-talkie. Generally midwit speak. Whereas profoundly intelligent people tend to sometimes lap into jargon, but only when they sort of go on a tangent talking about that they happen. Like that happens. Trust me, it happens. Oh, with me and with a lot of very smart people I know. But that kind of nonsense, like that's not how smart people talk. That is how low class people who want to sound smart talk. So they got that absolutely right with this. The criminal forces of Nigel Ferret had been defeated, and Mr. Ferret himself remained locked in a cage for the rest of his life, which in the absence of food and water is bound to be quite short. But we could feed him. I'm willing to feed him. That's fine.
The treasury is simply bursting with wholesome, nutritious gold.
Nutritious?
I sometimes spend hours staring at this glorious accomplishment. Our wealth
You're getting dragon
surpasses
sickness.
all expectations. I must congratulate you, Your Majesty. But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. As you can imagine, this has proved a rather unpopular measure. And yet many respected members of the community think the law does not go far enough. They would like alcohol consumption wholly abolished among the commoners. They feel, rather reasonably, that it leads to improper behavior and raucous public spectacles.
I mean, yeah,
These
sometimes.
concerned nobles are willing to pay handsomely for the change in policy. Meanwhile, the commoners themselves would like the restrictions completely lifted, claiming they infringe upon their freedom and their rights.
And their
please
timeless
everyone,
culture.
Your Majesty,
This is Albion we're
but you must
talking about.
make a decision.
Glorious England. Remove drinking. That'll cost me 100,000.
As you wish. Let the streets be filled with poor, drunken revelers. Perhaps it will take their minds off their impending doom.
Yes.
This will leave a noticeable gap in our budget, however.
Won't.
If you are feeling particularly generous, you may wish to make a personal donation to bridge that gap.
We're
Let us
fine.
move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead.
Days left. 250. Rule on possible reopening of Brightwall Academy. Nice. Proposal to drain Bower Lake. Where's Bower Lake? Meet with a concerned and wealthy citizen. Oh.
Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.
Oh.
Ah, hello.
I'm gonna put on.
I trust
royal
you are
attire
finding
back.
everything all right?
Then we're gonna go to the road to rule brief. Let's see if I can upgrade my magic. I think I have enough guild. Probably. Yeah, I have 145. That's enough. Guns. Master of Magic. Cool. I want to try it. Oh, there's more. Woohoo! That was fun. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right, I have enough gold in the treasury. I think we're going to call it there. Do this proper like. All right. So, oops, one thing. All right. So, thank you all for joining me tonight. That was fun. There is a lot more to this game than I thought there was. I honestly thought that we were going to be wrapping it up last week, and when we retook the throne. But man, this is quite cool. There's a lot to this. All right. So I'm at this pace, I'm probably expecting a few more weeks of this. Let's go. I'm not actually sure when I'm going to be streaming Greedfall this week. I want to look at my schedule to make sure that we actually get a Greedfall stream. It's just I actually have my Wednesday night free, so I could. I'll have to make sure I have Friday night free, because I could do that too. I'm also just going to see about arranging that interview that I was talking about for the podcast with Carrie Baldwin about the Faith-Seeking Freedom book that I'm mentioning. That might be coming up. Hope for that soon. In any case, keep an eye out. I've got some stuff planned a little bit, at least for the stupid little podcast. I've got live streams coming up for Greedfall 2. So we will be actually getting back to that. So that'll be good. Still more side quests, to be fair. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I had a wonderful time. Hope you did too. I will see you guys next time. But until then, remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, good. Good night, folks.